is dropping into others, and that is just going to be an explosion of KP over in that corner, you'd imagine. And you can see in the kill feed that is definitely happening right now. Player after player is dropping. Bowser goes down. There's 2 players from Era Eternity that have just fallen, and now we're just down to 15 squads like that. Era Eternity eliminated into 15. W in a little bit of a confrontation here, but they'll get the wipe as well. So after all the patients down in the tunnel, W will come down, will sweep up, will get the KP.
And we are going to see the lobby just disappear very, very quickly here, because like I mentioned, Landslide doesn't provide too many playable areas as NRG, they fall next, down to 12 from around 18, 19 teams just a few moments ago, as Benchwarmers now under pressure inside the bubble as well. Madness is the last alive, and surprise, surprise, it's Sentinels once again who just slap another team back into the respawn screen.
And Sentinels are just, they're making this look far too easy. This is like...
It looks like men versus boys at the moment. This lobby.
It really is. It's just unfair at this point. Do we gift them into playoffs just so we can get a fair lobby next in week 2? Because if it carries on like this, it's going to be the Sentinel show for quite some time here for the rest of the year. But they're kill leaders, they're playing with no fear, and yes, they had a flawless rotation on set that you were pointing out, but that's because they're so in command at the moment. SXG though, they're in 2nd place. They need to be staying alive here. They need to try and ensure they're picking up KP, getting to the late game so that they can walk away with 9 points here in Pro League, just behind Sentinels.
This is not good.
But one's gone down, make it 2.
This is not good whatsoever. Slurpee is the last player alive, and he's going to be trying to do what he can. Who's looking for the pieces? Who's looking to pick the bones? It's Sentinels, of course. Senox did get that final kill, as Sentinels now move just outside of the zone and just add to the tally. At this point, it's time to get the calculator out for the kills, because you can't count them on 2 hands.
Torrent go down as well. This is good news for RNG with the SXG falling. That opens up 2nd place as a potential spot they could grab. Lazarus also could move up there. I think Complexity may still be alive, but yep, there they are, right on the kill feed, bang on the money, and they're going up against Lazarus. Monsoon getting the opener onto Vize, and now we'll see whether they can close out those kills. If Complexity can have a big game here, they can really project themselves up this leaderboard, push into top 5, maybe even top 3. But with the way Sentinels are playing, no one is safe. Not one single team is safe in this lobby as long as Sentinels are alive.
Sentinels are kind of channeling their inner Goldberg at the moment and just looking at teams and saying, you're next. And it's as simple as that. Just run at them, just spear them, and then that's it. Unbeaten, undefeated. That kind of vibe going on for them at the moment. However, you're also going to watch Ghost Gaming right now doing a huge amount of damage. The turbocharger on that devotion is going to rip through the shields and the health of O Senpai. He will go down, and finally Sentinels find themselves up against a little bit of a tough situation. Cross is going to have to pop that battery. Lou has gone down, but it's just for now, as this rock will provide just enough cover for them to get back up to 3.
So gods do bleed, it would seem, but not enough for Lou to be taken out of this game. Instead, they are going to get back up, and maybe that's just going to be a little bit of a taster for what to come for the rest of the lobby, as they see Sentinels on the ground, and they might just want to get them out of the lobby for the sake of keeping themselves alive at this point and trying to get an easier way for their path to the top 3, or maybe even winning this game number 6. Have to shout out Noble. They're still alive. They are currently in 6th position as it stands, but 3 of the teams above them are already out. But here comes Sentinels again.
Sentinels, they're just pushing in. They do.
The teams above them are already out, but here comes Sentinels again.
Sentinels, they're just pushing in. They do not care. But have they met their match this time? Lou will get one. Tries to swing around. Does damage. Xenox, last player alive, has to clutch up here for Sentinels. Cannot do it. And finally, the roll of Sentinels will be stopped, as now we jump on board with Complexity still controlling this high ground.
It's worth mentioning, though, Sentinels have done easily enough to be the champions of week 1 of Pro League. They will be walking away with 12 points. It's been such an impressive performance, but game 6 is about who's going to be picking up place number 2, place number 3. Complexity trying to contest as best as possible from the high ground here, applying a lot of damage and getting knocks. They get the knock onto Vaxlon of RNG, so Renegades down to just 2 at the moment, but may be able to get Vaxlon back up. Complexity and Renegades, 2 key teams here in this fight.
My word, the missile swarm is going to crack shields for fun. Reptar is just going to be shooting fish in a barrel, as Complexity start to remind us all of just how deadly they could be in these final zones. Reptar once again just picking his targets, not missing a bullet. They have to be careful of the defensive bombardment, but they survive.
Renegade seem to be eliminated. Ghost have just been eliminated as well. Now we're down to just 5. Complexity were in 9th position on 27 points coming into this, but they're already in top 5, and they've got KP, and they are just making this game near impossible for everyone below them right now. Complexity very much in the power position. It's just a question of, does anyone even challenge them? Can anyone challenge them? Because they're all focusing on so many different fights right now, it's difficult to even think about Complexity.
Complexity just peppering everyone in the lobby at the moment from height. They will have to move in a little bit though as that zone does start to creep in. W are trying to play the outside of this train cart, which is currently occupied. Shots going in with the Eva 8. The bubbles go down. It's going to be an attempted thermite into the window. Not sure if it actually managed to connect in the way that they wanted it to, but now they're going to have to push. Now they're going to try and commit, but it's a bubble standoff between the two teams as finally they're going to engage. It looks like W will fall.
W go down in 5th. Lazarus have lost a couple of players. Noble should be able to reset here. So we're looking at Complexity, and we're looking at Noble, and we're looking at a very weak Lazarus, plus one of the team that I haven't been able to quite see so far, but it's still Complexity who lead things right now. And all while those fights were happening, they were dealing damage, they were getting knocks, they were picking up KP here or there. Whilst their KP isn't crazy good right now, it's still enough with a win to give them the chance of pushing into the likes of top 3 here in week 1 of Pro League.
Just a reminder to everyone at home that Complexity are back, and Complexity are still one of the teams to fear for everybody. Now the drop comes in, as it will be forced, but the bubble won't go down, and that is massive for Complexity. Shiny not being able to get that bubble on the floor means that his 2 teammates now have a much more difficult rotation to make. There might be the option of the portal. That looks like the play they're going to be going to, so Monsoon will be instrumental here in the survival of his teammate.
Whilst they did have the power position, they very much made themselves a target. It was Premier GG, the 4th team, who are just being a thorn in the side of Complexity. They've done so much damage, so it moves over to the likes of Noble now, who can wait inside this building, who, if they can hold off this push, do give themselves a real chance of winning this game.
Now coming in, Noble retreating to the inside as there's a defensive bombardment going down, and that's going to do damage to everybody around them at the moment, and now it's just easy viewing, a lovely scenic view here. Lovely vistas for Noble as everyone else is taking damage. Monsoon will fall to the ring. So now it's just a straight shootout. Noble still in control inside of the truck.
And they get the scan as well, so they know exactly where they are. They have to portal through. Lucas has gone down. Impulse and Rack have a big job to do. A lot of damage with the alternator, though. Can the Eva 8 manage to sweep things up here? It's a 2 versus 2, and PGG are on the other side. Premier GG have done so much damage, but they need to step up here and now.
Alternator shredding through shields. The question is, can they get the finish, though, as they
damage, but they need to step up here and now.
Alternator shredding through shields. The question is, can they get the finish, though, as they drop in now? Noble should be in control. Noble are in control, and Noble will be your final champion of day 1 of North America.
And Noble make up for that game 1 today, where they lost in the 1 versus 1, and we were kind of asking questions, you know, are they going to be able to clutch up? They've been getting to the late games, or now they get the job done. Now they show